نحمد الله ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My dear brothers, elders and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I would like to narrate one of the stories of Bani Israel, the children of Israel. I would like to let you know first of all about Bani Israel. Bani Israel was one of the nations of the previous nations. It was the most beloved to Allah Almighty among all the nations that time. That's why Allah Almighty preferred this Bani Israel upon all the other nations. Just because the reason was that most of the messengers came into them. So, you know, the second surah of the Holy Quran is Surah Al-Baqarah, which is the longest surah. And why did Allah Almighty name this surah with Surah Al-Baqarah, which means the cow? Because the story in it is the most important as well in this surah. That's why Allah Almighty named this surah with Baqarah, which means the cow. The story of cow goes like, there was a person, very rich person in Bani Israel, the children of Israel. He had some nephews who wished that he would die so that they could inherit him. One day, one of the nephews at night, he murdered his uncle and threw him on the road right next to one of these nephews' door. In the morning, people got together at the corpse and they disputed over him. And the murderer, the nephew, he also came to the corpse and he started crying and weeping loudly. They couldn't find any solution for that. They couldn't find the real killer. So the people go, it's no use to dispute over him while we can't find the solution ourselves. So we need to go to the Prophet. The Prophet at that time was Moses, peace be upon him, so they went to him. They asked the Prophet about this. So Musa alayhi salam, Moses, peace be upon him, he asked all of them if they can let him know any information regarding this. So nobody had such information, so they kept quiet, they couldn't answer. So afterwards they asked Moses, peace be upon him, to ask his Lord concerning this issue. So Moses, peace be upon him, he asked his Lord. So Allah Almighty revealed these verses which describes this as well. Inna Allah ya'murukum an tadhbahu baqarah. Indeed, Allah Almighty orders you to slaughter a cow, which was a very simple order. But they go, "Oh Moses, do you want to try to make fun of us?" Then Moses said, "May Allah protect me from being so, and I seek refuge in Allah Almighty from being so." So, this was the order from Allah Almighty to slaughter a cow. It was a very simple matter, but they made it more complex by asking more and more questions, which was very nonsense questions and very stupid questions. Baseless questions, basically. So they go, like, what kind of cow it should be, what kind of color, and how it should be. So then Allah Almighty kept clarifying it more and more by letting them know that it should be not that much old, not young in between, having a yellow color, and such things, and so on. So, finally, when it was clarified and crystal to them, they started searching out such kind of the cow so that they could slaughter. At last, they found such cow with all these conditions, with a person who was very poor and was obedient to his parents, who had such kind of cow. They went to him, they asked him to submit his cow to them, but he refused, as he was a very poor person. Okay, so they was ready to give him a very high price as well, but he still refused. At last they were agreed to the weight of the equal gold to the weight of that cow. So they slaughtered that cow. Then Allah Almighty asked them to grab a flesh. Maybe some scholars say this flesh was from the thigh, or some says from the shoulder, in between the shoulder. So they took that flesh and put it closer and touched the flesh with the murdered person. So they did so. So he was resurrected as soon as they did so. And he goes, then Moses asked him about the killer. So he just told about the killer, who was his nephew. He mentioned that. And he died afterwards. So this is how Allah Almighty clarified and got this solution, have given them the solution of this matter, which they have been disputing about. So this is one of the signs of Allah Almighty as well, that Allah Almighty can resurrect as well even in this world. And everybody should believe in this story, as it is the part of the Quran which is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah. Thank you very much. Jazakumullahu khairan wa ma alayna illa al-balagh al-mubin.